Hi everybody, I'm the Reluctant Reviewer, and I went back to the estate sale on their 50% off day. So this is just a showing of 3 dolls that I picked up, that I adopted out. And I've got a little learning curve because I went and I did buy some bisque. This little girl here. She had her eyes when I bought her, but unfortunately, when I was combing her hair out, her eyes dropped into her head. So after being sad and thinking, what did I do? How do I fix this? I put a message into a doll hospital that we use, and they assured me that this is what you do first, this is what you do next, and you send her to me and then I'll look at her. So apparently we have to take her wig off. It wasn't glued on. Okay. So a bisque doll has like a cardboard top over the hole in the bisque, and apparently that's what you glue the wig onto, but hers is glued to her scalp, her china here. So we have to slowly get that off so we can get the eyes out and make sure that they didn't shatter her. And then the doll doctor will be able to put her eyes back in. All of these their bodies are rough, their composition bodies are a little rough, but some people seem to think that the lady that had them all tried to refix some of them, and so maybe she wasn't as great at fixing them as she thought she was, or as she got up in age, she kind of left them a little bit. But the ones I bought were all dressed in baby outfits, so they're not in their original clothing. And I found that I tend to like character babies or character children because I just love the chubby cheeks. So it doesn't bother me right now that her eyes aren't in there, because I know her eyes are dark chocolate eyes, and in the dark it just looks like she has really dark eyes. So she's going to get fixed. Her hair was not in pigtails. That's just to help us when we have to get the wig off. It was just straight down. Both dolls that I got, they probably should have mohair wigs, but these don't feel like mohair, and they don't feel like real either. They feel more like synthetic. So, which is not a problem for me because everything was half off, and I knew that if I paid the regular price and then the eyes dropped or something else happened, they all need to be restrung too, that suddenly I would be paying the higher price and then the fixing up price. So I'm actually feeling really good about my purchases. I really adore the little girls that I got. So this girl is from a company that I never heard of. It is Alt and Beck and Gottschalk, Gottschalck, which I've never heard of before. And on her back, it shows her mold number. It shows made in Germany. Her mold is 1361, and I just love her little face. It's adorable. So everybody who came got a spa treatment. They all got a new outfit to wear, and yes, instead of wearing whatever she had on, now she's wearing like a dress from 1980. So, but this is like a learning curve for me because I'm like, what do I do? I don't want to wreck them. They all need to be restrung though. But I love the face, and once she gets her chocolate eyes back in, you'll see she is so pretty. All right, and I'm gonna move her away. And like I said, her composition's rough. Like her toe needs to be fixed there. This one has some cracks on it. So I don't know if we're gonna get those fixed or not, but right now they can wear dresses and they're fine. But otherwise her arms are pretty good, her chest is pretty good, and her head is beautiful. So let me find a different one. Let me put her away. This little girl is the reason I went back, because I saw her on the Friday, and then I went and looked on the page and it didn't say she was sold, and there wasn't a picture of her to see if she was still available for the Sunday. But I don't know what it is I like about her. I love her cheeks, her eyes. She's got these big giant blue eyes, and her wig that she's wearing is basically a Chrissy red. So I like the Chrissy red on her. It looks really good. She's wearing a sweater because the composition that was fixed on her arms is painted more white, the patch on it, than the skin tone. So she has that issue. Her feet were actually in pretty good shape. I'm waiting for some composition cleaner so we can clean her up a little bit. But like I said, the body is a little bit on the rough side, but she's got the sweetest face. I don't know who made her. She is an unmarked. She is made in Germany. It does say that. but it doesn't say a company that made her. Now, the one thing I found out, you go to an estate sale and you kind of mingle with the people that are there. Found out a little bit more information on the lady who owned all the dolls in the dollhouse, the dollhouse that they called it, the dollhouse sale. Found out that the neighborhood kids and their parents apparently, all called her Gypsy Jean. And when I just did a random search on the internet, put the town we were in, and Gypsy Jean, and it came up with a bunch of people, a bunch of little kids that grew up in the neighborhood looking at Gypsy Jean's house, who they called a gingerbread house because it was a very Bavarian style house. Had lots of stuff in the backyard, lots of stuff in the front yard. Her husband made a bunch of stuff, had a big wooden cow in the backyard sculpture, and then wooden sheep to go with the wooden cow. Very eclectic. And the people on the website were all talking about how some of them were afraid to go in there. The lady was very eccentric looking. They kind of quoted her as looking like Mrs. Roper from Three's Company, where she wore the real blue eyeshadow and she wore wild moo kind of dresses. And the dresses in her closet that they were selling were all these bright 60s, 70s, big long cocktail kind of dresses. So I could see that. And that they remember seeing her in the Jewel, and that some people thought of it was a gingerbread house and the Wicked Witch lived in there and she was going to eat the children. But the neighborhood just came out because they wanted to see what the house looked like inside after all those years of seeing what it looked like outside. So it was really kind of neat. The owners passed away in their 90s, and the house is from the early 50s. It was made before the road was made. So it was very interesting. If you don't know what estate sale I'm talking about, it's on QP83's channel. And I had bought a few other dolls and she had bought some dolls, so we talked about those too. So this is the same estate sale, which apparently they're not done with. They're going to be doing another sale eventually, and it's going to have more upper quality dolls, So, but I'm glad I got the ones that I did. All their wigs were a pain in the neck to work on, but they look a whole lot better, and I didn't take any before pictures because I wanted them to only look pretty. So, this is a really pretty girl, and she has a really nice price, had a nice price, and I just love both of the dolls. Their little teeth, they're so white. And she had a little bit of dirt on her face, and she came out beautiful. She doesn't sit as well, so she needs to be restrung. The other girl stringing is better for sitting, but they all got new stuff. So let me show you the last one. The last of my purchases. How could you resist? I mean, she was a lot higher when the beginning of the sale, and no one was buying her. So when we went in for the 50% off sale, they had reduced her price even more. I've always wanted like a big Shirley Temple. She's not marked, but I mean, the face is undeniably Shirley, so I'm not quite sure. I mean, were there kit dolls that maybe somebody could have put a Shirley together? She's not in that bad shape. Do I know if this body and these limbs go with this head? I have no idea. Her hair was a mess, so I decided to try to roll it. So I'm not taking these out for a long time because I want them to actually do something. But I mean, she's just cute. And she's got so many teeth in her mouth. It's adorable. I mean, there's a lip color that's gone, but I mean, she's so cute. So I found an outfit to put on her. She was wearing an outfit that was really, really big for her. This one's still big for her too. She needs to be restrung, but she's just so cute. She's just such a big kid. So 27 inches. So I was pleasantly happy with my purchases because it was scary to think of getting bisque. I don't have composition. I have hard plastic dolls. So it's this new learning curve of what do I do with them? How do I set them up? So, but it's something in the hobby that I get to learn about. So I just wanted to show them to you, and I'll talk to you later. Bye.